Hey guys, what's up? Samurai Bird. This, whatever this is, what is this, a review? I don't know. You tell me. This review is for Daniel Lopez, the Blind Samurai. Asked me if I don't know where the conversation has started, but somehow he asked me if I had it, or I don't know how it started, but he knew I had a 1045 and he wanted me to do a review on it. From Ronin Katana. Excuse me. So yeah, I own one, and I'll do a review on it for Blind Samurai. I just said that, but maybe you didn't hear. Maybe you just walked in. All right, so Ronin Katana. This was the second sword I ever bought. So actually, my wife got me my first one for Christmas, and with a little bit of investigation, I came across Ronin Katana. I think Matthew Jensen had the video on it. And I think he had the Dojo Pro though. So the one I got was the RKentry level. Actually, it is right here, and this was Model 1. But if you go to Ronin Katana's site, the Model 1 has a red saya or scabbard. But when it looked all right when in the picture. It was one of the reasons I got it, because a lot of they don't have a lot of I don't know. It's basically black, dark brown, black, dark green, or black, and white, black, and they don't have a lot of choices. They keep it real traditional and more darker colors, which is, maybe that means they concentrate more on the blade. Who knows? But I picked that one because it had the red side. It was a little different. And for the weight, it was the lightest one they had. And I'm assuming a lot of that was in the Suba here, the handguard, because it's real thin. It's a little smaller. And that's probably where the other few ounces that the others had, that's where it got trimmed. So, and I figured the lighter the better. It was the same strength as the other ones, but a lot lighter. So, couldn't go wrong with that. So that's why I picked it. But as you can see, this one is not red. I didn't like the red. I mean, it was not anything near Slayer red. So right there turned me off. I mean, it wasn't even as red as that one. So that's Slayer red, maybe. More like my guitar is Slayer red. That's just red. But this wasn't even that. It was real close to pink. So I didn't like it. And being a painter by profession, I ground it down and redid it. Took all the pink off and just went El Natural and varnished it. And actually, I painted the Corgucci as oxbone. This wasn't. I painted it black, so I cheated. But you'd never known if I hadn't told you. But yeah, it's not. The Corgucci was. I don't know if it was oxbone or not, but it was definitely separate piece. It wasn't just wood and they painted it black, or me painted it black. It was a separate piece. Corrugator or the Corgucci? Corgucci. I don't know. One of them cores. Anywho, so the RK Model 1, if you look this up, it would be the one with the red saya. And I want to say it had the longer handle too. It's a little over 11 and an eighth. Say 11 inch. I think the rest of them are like 10 and a half. So this was kind of the oddball out of all of them. Like I said, it may not have been the first model they made, but it was named Model 1. So, but, I don't know. Anyway, so we got 41 inches for the whole length. It said 2.2 pounds. I got 2.18 pounds, which is really light, man. So excellent bottle cutter. I don't know why I don't use it more often, and I'm probably going to start. Now that I fixed the edge of it. I didn't tell you that story. Okay. So this is my second sword. I tried stones, sandpaper. Well, I didn't even know how to sharpen at that point. I just took a little knife sharpening stone and went about 4 or 5 times, and then realized, whoops, I think I just created a little bit of a bevel that's not supposed to be there. And I didn't do it a lot. Luckily, I didn't actually create another bevel. I just kind of messed up the geometry of the blade a little bit. But I did fix that today. So, like I said, this has been on the rack for like a year. I don't really mess with it. I think I let people use it when they come over, maybe. But to their first bottle cuts or whatever. But it's been on the shelf. I haven't used it. I got this out to show them on. Yeah, see, nice and on. I mean, I really do think Ronin knows their metal. I think they know what they're doing. The Dojo Pro gets a lot of praise, which is their intermediary line, I guess. The 1045 was the RKentry level. They're all 1045 high carbon steel. Dojo Pros are all 1060 high carbon steel, and then you have the Elite, which is 1095. I do believe it's a laminated, or maybe it's just folded. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't really know, but they're expensive. They're like $800-900. So the Dojo Pros like $360. And this was actually 125, I think, or no, I'm sorry, 127 when I bought it. It's gone up. It's now 139. So, oops. And this was my experiment on my polyethylene lacquer, the water-based lacquer that I usually talk about to tighten up the Edo wrap if it's loose. I don't remember if this was loose or tight or what. I know it never came undone, so it must have been okay. I just lacquered it just because Katana fanboy told me to. So I did it. And which didn't turn out too bad. I've kind of tightened up my technique on doing that a little bit. I mean, this whole thing, I brushed it till it was hard and didn't move, and it don't. I mean, you can still kind of feel a cushion underneath it. But here, you hear that suction cup kind of sound like Squidward walking down the hallway? That I don't really like. That's probably just too much lacquer on it. But like I said, you can still feel a cushion. It didn't harden it all the way through like plastic. And I tried the oil-based lacquer first, and it just kind of sat on top. And I don't know, it needed to soak in a little bit, so I didn't see it. Well, that's what that water-based does. It does soak in a little bit, but not all the way through. So, and now, like I said, I've tightened up my technique to where I just do the knots. I don't brush the whole side of it or anything. I just harden up where the diamond is at to keep that in position. And you really don't really feel it that much on the other ones I've done it to. So, but like this one, I mean, I brushed it pretty well, and it's not on the ray skin, which is real ray skin, by the way. It's a panel, but it is real. So, yeah. And, yeah, it's completely lacquered, so it ain't going nowhere. Like I said, this is, I haven't picked this up, but, today I got up and I sharpened it just to get ready for this review for Mr. Blind Samurai, and I fixed that goofy beginning of a bevel that I put on there accidentally before I knew what I was doing. Fixed that, honed it, and as you can see, it didn't take the hamon away like sandpaper. I mean, stones are great, man, but they're too hard to work with. Sandpaper, I found, takes away the hamon. I don't know, I didn't get it. So the Ken Onion, did I show this? Yes. If you have a couple swords, I suggest investing in one of these. I mean, like I said, I've tried stones, sandpaper. When I got this, I didn't even worry about even learning about stones or sandpaper anymore. Nope, just throw it all out. I don't need it. I'll use it to sharpen my pocket knives. And it's saved me. I mean, that's, yeah, the Work Sharp Ken Onion edition really works well on swords once you kind of learn the technique and You know, some of them you have to tape off, and you want to mask them off because you want that edge, or you can get my other stones that I'm talking about from Falcon Tool Company that you can put the edge back on there. Completely another video. Anyway, my point is, if you're going to collect swords, I would definitely collect the Ken Onion Edition Work Sharp, because you can sharpen your sword in 10 minutes and go out there and just slice the heck out of whatever you're cutting, and it's just awesome. So it saved my ass. Let me tell you, I'd much rather have one of those or try to figure out stones. I was at my wit's end trying to figure that out. Of course, I'm trying to learn on a sword with Niku, which is convex. You know, really hard to sharpen on the stones because you got to turn it while you're. I couldn't have picked a worse blade to try to learn on. So yeah, that didn't work very well. Anyway, so back to the Ronin Katana here. I think I've pretty much covered a lot. It is 41 inches long. Blade I got from where the blade meets the habaki right there, which is, I think, where you're supposed to measure it to the tip of the blade. 27¼ inches. Handle is 11⅛ inch, which, like I said, this was the longer one of all the RK models. Which I found, I kind of like the smaller handles when I'm cutting bottles. I like the longer handles when I'm cutting bamboo because it's really wide swings, or bottles are more tight and not so much crazy swinging. So, you know, I found maybe shorter handles for bottles, longer handles for bamboo is kind of what I've been doing. It seems to work a little better. I mean, I don't know, don't get me wrong, I can still do it with long handles. I like long handles regardless. So even if I'm cutting bottles with one of my longer handle swords, I adapt because I just like long handles. It works. So, you know, I can always move my hands around. Changes the size of the handle, you know, to a point. I mean, I don't know, there's a lot of leverage there, you know, that you're talking about when you got a lot of geometrical stuff going on that I probably don't know the math to. So, but anywho, Mr. Daniel Lopez, I would recommend the Ronin Katana RK level, especially, I mean, if that's all you're looking. I have cut tatami mats with this. It's never bent or anything. I wouldn't go as far as maybe double rolls tatami, single rolls. I mean, you could do it all day long. I've chopped a few of them with it. So, and actually, I hit my stand today. It's a 2x12. Chipped it. I didn't even see nothing wrong with the blade. So that was the first time I did that with this. And it sliced it pretty good. Must have been a good cut. I didn't see no damage to it. So, yeah, like I said, this is the RK entry level Model 1 1045. A little bit different than the rest of them. So, you know, the rest of them actually have 10.5 inch handles. They're a lot shorter. So, if this one ain't for you, look for the other model. They have several are the RK entry level models. Yeah. So that's about all I got on that. And you know, I don't think the Suba did come loose, which I'll probably use this sword to show a video on me fixing that, which is not my way. I learned it from Katana Fanboy, and he uses JB Weld, and I like that because it turns to metal basically, and I mean it's ain't much different than soldering. You know, putting a drop of solder on the side of it, just, you know. So, but I'll do a video for that actually, and I'm in no hurry to do that because I want to do another video first on fixing that. So, and I'll probably actually do this sword, and I'll probably do that in a little while. So, I think Blind Samurai had another question for me, something about rust. I think how I get rid of rust. Interesting question. I did see at the hardware store the other day that WD-40 has an actual rust remover spray. I haven't tried it. I'm real curious. I think I will. Not that I get a lot of rust on my swords, but it just so happened that when he was mentioning that, I did get a fingerprint on this blade, and I touched it and forgot about it and put it back, and I looked at it a few days later, and there was a little rust fingerprint spot. So to get rid of that, I'm not going to show this, but I'll kind of show you. Hold on. That's why I showed you the work sharp, because it comes with these honing belts, these leather belts that you can hone and strop with. I will take this, and this is actually what I did. I can't show you because I already did it. But I took the blade and just took this with my finger and just kind of buffed on that spot where the fingerprint was, and got the red away, and it was like black tarnish still. So I hosed it down with WD-40, put it right back in the side, let it sit for a day. Got it the next day, wiped off the old WD-40, hosed it down again, put it in the side, put it back on there. I did that probably 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 days, I guess, and went away. The tarnish, the black tarnish, went away from my fingerprint, so it's completely gone now, and I didn't know about that. So there you go. I mean, this helped a lot to get rid of that red, the rust, and then when I got it down to a black kind of tarnish look, that's when I used the WD-40, and it just made it disappear. I don't know if that's like I said, I just figured that one out. So I don't know if that's a good technique, bad technique, but I do want to try the WD-40 stuff. You know, I mean, if regular WD-40 does that, is my whole point. If I can spray it on there and let it sit, and it gets rid of that rust, then the rust remover probably works even better. Hopefully you don't eat the metal away, or or mess up the finish too bad. I don't know. I'll experiment and I'll let you know. But as of now, that what I just explained to you worked just fine. Nothing happened to my blade. My blade's just fine. Actually, I just polished it the other day. Ooh, I wanted to show you guys that too. I found my old polish. I said before, I used to work in plastics. So in the tooling guys, in injection molding, they shoot hot plastic into high carbon molds, big, huge molds that are water cooled, and cool the plastic and make your part, and it pops open, and there you have your plastic army man or whatever you're making. But this is some of the polish that those guys use. Of course, I've rolled. It was a big long tube. Blue Magic is what it's called. I will investigate that and see if they're still around, because I know this tube is probably 25 years old, if not pushing 30. That was a while back, and I'm old. So, but it's still, I mean, I've used it on various things throughout the years, and kind of lost it in my toolbox, and just found it, and it works awesome on my blades. I mean, I can just put a little dab of it on a rag, kind of lightly coat the whole blade with it, and then just kind of buff it a little bit with another rag, wipe that off. Oh man, it's sweet. So I'll have to look into that and see if I get more of this, and I will let you know. Other than that, I think that's about it. I'm going to do another video about fixing the side rattle, and that will actually go out to Matthew Jensen, if he even knows I exist or wants to watch it. So yeah, so that's all I got. I hope that helped, Daniel. Like I said, I would recommend the RKentry level, man. If you're just going to cut bottles and Tommy mats every once in a while, for sure. I wouldn't cut bamboo with it. It's not a heavy cutter, but it is a very well made 1045 high carbon steel blade, without a doubt. It seemed, my 1060er seemed actually easier to work with as far as sharpening. This was a little, which tells me that the differential hardening process was done very well, is what I'm getting at. I do believe with my experience of trying to sharpen this. So with that being said, it's, like I said, Ronin Katana, I do think they know their metals. They seem to be fairly decent swords. So, and they do, I know they're a place where they make the swords, whatever you call them, the forges. It's in China, but they have a warehouse in Texas, I do believe, and that's how I got mine. It came here with like 7 or 8 days, and I had it. I want to say it was a long time ago, but I know it came really, really quick. I wondered why, and that was why. So that being said, go out and get yourself a Ronin Katana and chop some bottles. And like I said, Daniel, I hope this was helpful. I will let you know about the WD-40 thing. And like I said, the way I did it just now is just fine. Of course, if you don't have the leather honing strap, any piece of leather would work, I would guess. Yeah, I mean, it's just find a strap of leather and just kind of buff on it till you get that red away. Hopefully your rust is not that bad. I mean, if you're talking really bad rust, there again, having the work sharp would just, I mean, yeah, I mean, totally make that disappear without a problem. I mean, the work sharp is, if you're going to collect swords, you need a work sharp, man. I'm serious. I would definitely invest in one. I don't see any drawbacks not to. And yeah, so there you go. Yeah, let me do another video, get rid of that, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching. Like I said, Daniel, hope this helped. Later.